And it felt like the Escape of the Phoenix were starting to be not so up to date. I mean, it's been out and we haven't toured on it, so it felt kind of strange to go out touring on such an old album. So we thought, well, let's make a new one. And we started to write and we got creative, and well, there you go, it's done.
Ghost Cult Magazine welcomes in Rikard of Evergrey. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Yeah,
Good.
it's a really good, nice weather here in Sweden, and so it's good.
Nice. Same here. California is nice and sunny and not too cold, unlike everywhere else.
Uh,
So, not not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. Great to see you. It's been a few years. I saw you guys last in New York City on tour with
yeah,
Soulfly, and that was a fun show.
yeah.
And it was a hot day in September. I remember at the time we were talking about concept records and future albums, and now you've had this album during the lockdown year, and now this brand new album, A Heartless Portrait, the Orphean Testament. I wanted to make sure I said that correctly, so I read it off my phone. Lots to unpack and talk about the new album. I've been really enjoying it.
As far as I've heard so far, people seem to like our new stuff, and that's why we do this. So
Right? Yeah, over 25 years as a band, and I know there's been a few singles out. There's an exceptional music video we can talk about. The Midwinter Calls video, which is exceptional, as I said, and it's always a hopeful, good time. The band has been remarkably consistent. I think this will be the third record in 5 years, which is, or maybe, yeah, less than that, maybe less than 5 years, which is impressive in any rate at anybody's career, but especially considering the last few years in the world, just really marvelous. And right off the bat, I was wondering if these two records were written sort of at the same time or back to back. Obviously, you couldn't know that you wouldn't be able to tour much in the last year or so.
we did the Escape of the Phoenix, and then we just had more time to. We didn't really know what to do. We couldn't tour, so and everyone felt that we changed the record label also, and that was like a good starting point to try to write new material to get something out as fast as we could. And it felt like the Escape of the Phoenix were starting to be not so up to date. I mean, it's been out and we haven't toured on it, so it felt kind of strange to go out touring on such an old album. So we thought, well, let's make a new one. And we started to write and we got creative, and well, there you go, it's done. I must say, since we talked about the consistency of the band, it's actually the fifth album with the same lineup, and that's pretty good in the Evergrey world, actually.
That is true. That is true. And you also have been in the lineup for quite a while, and so this is a really the fully formed, best version of the band now. I'm sure everybody would agree with that. I think that's what I think, but I'm sure you would agree also. A band is like a marriage or any other relationship. It takes a lot to maintain, especially over this long a career, and try to make, have the same goals and be on the same page. I often say it's the music business, not the music friendship, unfortunately. It's great to see a band like this continue to just keep achieving. And of course, again, lining up with Napalm Records is great for you guys. They're a wonderful label. We're big fans.
Yeah, definitely. And we, like you say, we feel that this is, well, I guess the best lineup Evergrey had ever. Everyone is motivated. Everyone writes. We're not getting younger. We appreciate that we still can do this. So why just not stick together and keep like you said, it's like a marriage. You have to learn to live with each other, and we're struggling with that from time to time as well, but we managed to keep it up.
There you have it. There you go. So yeah, the new album, A Heartless Portrait, we'll just call it that for short. It's typical of all the Evergrey records. They're always very deep. There's never any filler. I always enjoy them all, but this record also feels, similar to a couple of other records you had, where there's just seems to be the great story. And you guys are great storytellers, whether it's music, lyrics, video, artwork. Very few bands can pull that off like a thread through everything. It's a challenge. So I feel like that's just part of the Evergrey style, where it's like it's always going to be this fully developed ideas.
I mean, Tom writes the lyrics, and it's very important for him. It's important for us as well, but he's the lyric writer, and he makes the stories. All the albums we've made, we have never had a filler, like you say. We if a song doesn't cut it through, we just don't finish it. And Evergrey is about a whole. It's about not like a hole you put something in, but the whole spectra of the music, the lyrics, the visual arts. It's a package.
I always joke that guitar players have an abundance of ideas and riffs, and obviously you had like again as we discussed this extra time leading up to this second record and really these two records back to back. Did you have extra ideas to contribute? Are there things left over for another record eventually, or an EP, or did you really empty the tank on these last two?
We had lots of riffs over when we make. I mean, not all the riffs make it to the end, but and we think that well, this is great. Now we have a lot of riffs to start with when we make a new album, but usually they never. I mean, usually we just write new stuff for. So usually all those riffs that we haven't used, we never use it. We like it to be fresh when we make a new album. Of course, we could dig after old riffs, but I think it's more fun to make it in the moment. The riffs are supposed to be on this new album, and if the riffs didn't make it on the previous albums, I guess they were just not good enough. So here you go.
There it is. What would you say? Would you say that I know that Tom is basically he's been there. It's his baby. He's been there the longest. It's his project and originally, but I feel like everybody, like you said, 5 albums in a row with the same lineup. Do you feel like you can come in with an idea, or you can change something in the studio or while you're writing in pre-production? Do you feel like everybody has equal footing at this point, respect-wise? Because it's of course like you always want to go with the leader, the person that's proven and has been there the longest, but also at the same time, I just feel like this sounds like such a cohesive album. It feels like everybody, you can tell like there have been parts that everybody kind of contributed.
Definitely, and we're totally democratic. It's democracy in the band. If 3 people think one thing and 2 the other, doesn't matter if it's Tom or who we choose that idea. Of course, Tom, like you say, Evergrey. He started Evergrey. It's from the beginning. It's his baby, and without Tom, we never would have be where we are, and Evergrey would never have sounded. So of course, his opinion is very important, but it's not all his opinion. It's much anybody else's opinion in the band, and then it's the guy who feels the strongest for it that will win in the end. And sometimes that's Tom, and sometimes that's somebody else.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Obviously, this record's coming out May 20th on the new label Napalm, and they've done a very good job promoting it. Got this great video and pre-sales. I know that.
Have you seen the Save Us video as well? Or?
I did.
Yeah.
Really great. Just and the band, again, the band has a certain quality that you guys always reach for, and I feel like I agree. It's been this like string of records in a row where the band just keeps getting better and better. It's hard to top yourselves. I know that it's very cliche to say like this next record is our best record, but I do feel like at the same time that would be fair. The last few records have been amazing, even going back to the Atlantic, which I loved so much, and maybe even my favorite Evergrey record actually. Going back, cool. Even the whole history, I love that record for whatever reason it connected with me. Which leads me to an interesting point. You guys have a lot of touring planned. Finally, a huge European tour and festivals, I'm sure, and things all summer. Now that you had like a record you really didn't get to tour behind, and a brand new record you're going to want to play a lot of, how will you, sort of work out the set list?
We will play a lot of new songs, of course, from both Escape of the Phoenix and the new one. And also, I think we're mostly going to play songs from hymns to the, well, it's actually from the albums that all of us been involved in. Maybe just one or two songs from before that, but we're definitely going to concentrate on new stuff. And we feel that people really appreciate that, because it's not like we had a huge hit record like 10, 15 years ago that people just want to hear songs from. So we're really blessed that we can, like in the moment, we still, when we put out a new album, it's that album, and people don't shout for old songs. So we're really blessed in that way. I guess that's problem for a lot of other bands that were really successful for 20 years ago, and they had to play like all those old songs. We don't have that problem, and that's really good for us.
I just interviewed another band, and the singer was lamenting, like, we can never take this one song out of the set list because people will revolt if we
Yeah,
take it out,
exactly.
and we can't get rid of it. And even if we wanted to, we couldn't leave it out even for one night, even when I don't feel like playing it. So,
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
understand,
exactly. Yeah.
and I think also it speaks a lot to the fan base. The fans will also, not that you owe them anything, but the fans will also allow you to take them with you on a journey and be excited about new material and not be mad if you leave. This time around we didn't play a couple of songs you might have heard because we put in newer ones. So, sometimes it's your fans and sometimes it's you, in a good way.
Yeah, but I think people come to our concerts because they like our newest album. They don't come to because they liked us 20 years ago. I don't think so anyway. I think the fans, the ones that come to our concerts, well, they maybe liked us 20 years ago, but they still like us. They still buy our new albums. So that's great.
Yeah, very exciting stuff. And again, like I said, the label is doing a great job. It's interesting. The band has had a few different labels over the years, some better than others. But yeah, I'm always a big fan of whatever Napalm does. They do a tremendous job promoting before a release. I was mentioning before, because of everything the last couple of years, there's been issues with vinyl and the supply chains and stuff, but it doesn't seem like that's too bad of a problem for this release, or at least right now releases right this second seem to be not immune, but not too far off from the release date.
No, I think Napalm actually has its own vinyl factory or something. So I
That
think
makes
so.
yeah,
I'm not
makes
sure, but
sense.
yeah,
I think you might be right. We'll find out. I'll get a confirmation.
yeah, yeah,
And then of course, we love to see you back here in the States. Even though we're a
yeah.
global website, and we'll see you in Europe, of course. But of course, we'd love to get you back to America probably next year, I'm guessing.
Hopefully, yeah. We haven't. I haven't heard anything really about it yet. I really want to go back as soon as possible. So hopefully next year.
Well, you have a lot of awesome fans here who love the band, and
Yeah,
I've seen
definitely.
many,
Yeah,
many a sold out packed show for Evergrey. So the fans will let you know. Hopefully, you guys will get back out here on another big package tour like we saw the last time, and hopefully it won't be too long. Hopefully nothing else gets in the way between
yeah.
everything we've been going through. But yeah, I'm really excited. This record's terrific, and it's really
Thank
great
you.
to hear. Yeah, it's really great to hear from you, and my best to the rest of the guys, and we'll see you when you get on tour. Always a
Yeah,
pleasure.
definitely.
I miss the tour buses. This is fine. I appreciate technology, but I miss the buses.
Yeah, yeah. It's more fun. Yeah, yeah.